We have to see that genetically we're the same people. Historically, we are the same. Culturally, we are the same. But they got our family divided by religion. I'm a Muslim. This one's a Christian. Another's a Hebrew. So what? These are labels. God is one. God's religion is one. God's prophetic community is one. Why shouldn't we, as the people of God, be one? So I respect my Christian brothers and sisters in their tradition. And I respect my Hebrew brothers and sisters in their tradition. And I respect the tradition of those who are Muslims. But we must never let these traditions and these rituals divide us as members of one family and cause us to fall out with each other because one wants to be a Baptist, one wants to be a Methodist, one wants to be an Episcopalian, one wants to belong to AME, the other CME, the other Church of God in Christ. One is Orthodox, one is Sunni, one is Sufi, one is Shiite. These are labels that divide the house of God. And then we've been divided by color. The lighter, the darker. That's a shame that the enemy has made us to feel because we are lighter that we are better. You were in Africa, builders of civilization. You built the pyramids. They weren't built by straight-haired people. They were built by kinky-haired, broad-nosed, thick-lipped people. And white people call it the first wonder of the world because they wonder to this day how we did it. And like God leaving a sign in the desert, my people are going to sleep. My people are going out of existence. My people are going to go into a state of death for a while. But we're going to leave a sign of a pyramid. And on the stones in the pyramid, and in every measurement of the pyramid, we will be telling the story of our history. We will write it in hieroglyphics. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the wise will read time and history when they learn to read the secret of this. And beside it, we'll put the body of a lion. Yes, sir. With the head of a black man, sitting majestically in the desert. All right. With his paws outstretched. And we'll call it Abu el-Hawl, in Arabic meaning the father of everything. We'll just sit here in the desert like Job waiting for our change to come. We'll just sit here in the desert taunting the newcomers that no matter how high you go, your wisdom won't match the wisdom that it took to build these structures. And we won't only build them here in Egypt. All right. We'll build them in other parts of the world so you won't get the idea that our wisdom was limited to this local sphere. But when you discover and uncover what we have built, you will marvel in your secret chambers. at the wisdom of the original people who now sleep in the dust of the earth, awaiting the time of the trumpet, that they may rise from their sleep and take control of their lives and get the children that they produced back in order, for they have run amok. And so we'll just sit here in the desert, black and beautiful, awaiting our time. In the book of Genesis, the 15th chapter, the 13th, 14th, and 15th verses, God says to Abraham, know of a surety, Abraham, your seed will be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. And they shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. But after that time, I will come, and I will judge that nation which they shall serve, and afterwards shall they come out with great substance. Now, I didn't write the book. I just read it. Now, I only challenged the Jewish scholars. That's all. It's an intellectual thing. It's not violence. I just challenged the Jewish scholars. Show me the history of your suffering in Egypt for 400 years. I know you can't show it to me. That's all I'm saying. It's not violence. It's not anti-Semitism. It's a theological argument. That picture of Moses and the children of Israel in bondage under a wicked king named Pharaoh, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us, and I believe it with all my heart, that it is a prophetic, symbolic picture of a people who in the last days of the world would be brought out of their native land and people into a strange land to suffer and be afflicted for 400 years. Now the Jews say that is themselves biblically, and we know historically that John Hawkins, an English slave trader, brought our fathers into America in the year 1555 on a ship named Jesus. Now, the Congressional Library in Washington bears witness that our first fathers that came to America, they were not animists. They were not people of strange religion. They believed in one God. Many of them were Muslims. They said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. And the wise slave masters and slave makers in America, knowing that Islam brings out the militant propensities of the black man, they did not want Islam among the slaves. So any Muslim was separated from other religious believers, and they were killed. This is history, and it is true. From 1555 to 1955 is how many years? 400 years. Let me ask you, are we in a strange land among strange people? Have we been afflicted this strange land every day, every week, every hour, every year of our being here? Can you imagine the governor calling me a bigot?